Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about this Mo3 murder case, man. Now, it looks like the second suspect has been charged in this case. Now, this is going to be crazy and wild for a lot of you, but for some of us who have been keeping track of this case, it's going to sound like, a familiar name, because Mo3's situation has played out in the media a lot. Now, the Dallas Daily News just dropped a story a couple of hours ago. I want to say it was a lot of hours ago. And basically, they talk about the second suspect in this case. Now, the second suspect, a gentleman by the name of Devin Maurice Brown, it seems like he's officially been charged now. And with that comes a lot of things. And it looks like this case has fallen all the way into the prosecutor's hands. It looks like a lot has been going on. Now, earlier this week, some other things that took place with the case and the case file and the paperwork that should have been clues to some folks involved. Now, before I get to some of the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about it, man. So this Mo3 case is falling right into the prosecutor's hands, it looks like, at least from the outside. Now, I don't want to throw any shade on the defense attorneys who are going to be defending the young men in question, but it's a lot of, details that are coming to light. Now, the Dallas Daily News just dropped a story and it said, second man charged with murder in fatal shooting of Dallas rapper Mo3 on I-35 East in Oak Cliff. Now, Devin Maurice Brown, 28, was indicted this week. Now, a lot of people have been waiting for this indictment to come down because Devin Maurice Brown's name was mentioned in the case as far back as like January or December time frame, because he was wrapped in with Kewon White in that whole situation that they had where they got arrested, and it was an indictment under the Department of Justice in Dallas, Northern Division, right? Now, in order for us to get a clear idea of what's going down in this case, let's talk about some of the developments that have happened as far as looking at the paperwork and accessing the paperwork online. So for those of us who do this for a living or just do this as a hobby or just keep up with the case work on a lot of these trials and things like that, you might have noticed something different recently. And that's that the case was a sealed indictment. So usually, man, you can look up anything on sources online or anything. When that indictment goes sealed, something went bad for the defense, man. Meaning somebody turned that's also on the defense or something of that nature. You guys get the implications here, man. So it looks like a lot of people in this case are starting to switch on each other, and the actual facts of the case are starting to come out. Now, what's really compelling is we don't know who they're going to be talking about or whose real name is going to be involved from here going out until the trial, because it's looking like with a sealed indictment, they've got to protect those who are cooperating and those who are helping out, helping justice prevail in these situations. Now, this is a crazy one because, like I said before, this gentleman's name was mentioned earlier, but it looks like they finally got enough information, wink, wink, on how to get Devin Maurice Brown tried in this case. Now, law enforcement has been vocal on this was not a solo incident and a solo shooter, but it does look like it was definitely two shooters involved in this situation, and they're going on record by saying so. Now, Devin Maurice Brown, he's already in custody, and he was already in custody by the time that Kewon White had been arrested on his charges that he already copped out to in earlier this month, I should say. Now, Kewon White was arrested on 19th of November, 2020. So it came down on him pretty quick. Now, earlier this month, he already took the charges, pled guilty to the charges that he had against him in that trial, right? In his original arrest. So he had federal charges that involved possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and conspiracy to possess illicit substances, right? Now, when they found him, they also found weapons on the scene that matched almost the weapon that looks like it's in the Mo3 shooting video that they took from the highway. Then they found illicit substances on the scene. Now, like I said before, he pled guilty to those charges earlier this month, and he still got pending charges, man. So he's got charges in Dallas, and they include manufacture or delivery of controlled substance, money laundering, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon on the state level. So dude is looking at multiple charges, state and federal, it looks like. Now, White is also, according to this story, White has also been indicted on a charge of aggravated assault in connection with a November shooting. So, dude, man, the way that they paint this, Kewon White was out here wilding. I'm talking about crazy wilding, man. Like, wow. Now, court records show he faces unrelated charges of evading arrest, theft, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon in Dallas County, as well as an aggravated assault charge in Denton County. Okay, man. Wow. Okay. Now, the story continues to say he was set to go to trial. He was set to go to trial earlier this month on federal gun charge, but court records show the case is still pending. So he has a federal gun case held over his head, and all of a sudden, the prosecution's case is starting to come together, man. I mean, I'm not saying these things are connected. Don't take me for that, but it's just oddly familiar. Now, according to authorities, he tried to flee officers on his dirt bike. Okay, for those of you who aren't familiar with the story, when they caught Kewon White, allegedly he tried to do like some type of Miami Vice getaway on a dirt bike, and he ended up getting found with a weapon or whatnot. Now, both of these cats are in custody right now. That includes Mr. Brown and Mr. White. So, as far as the gentleman who's being indicted now, Devin Maurice Brown, it doesn't look good, man. Especially when you're the last person in the case and everybody else is pleaded out. You know what I mean? You never know what's in store, and especially since the case is closed. I'm sure his attorneys still have privy to that information, but as far as for the public, man, from now on here on out, it's only going to be stuff that you can find that's public information according to the court case. That'll be delivered mostly to news and media outlets first, and then it'll trickle its way down, unless there's something or some type of special motions or whatever. That stuff will always be in those files as well. So there'll be more in this case as it goes along. But it looks like both of these gentlemen, Kewon White and Mr. Devin Brown, looks like they have a long road ahead of them when it comes to this Mo3 case. Now, according to a lot of the fan pages and the things that are going on social media right now, man, there's even more people involved that are closely tied to the rap game, and we're going to be hearing more and more details about this as it all unfolds. Now, you might be seeing some rappers start to position themselves a little different because they don't know what's going to be said and what's coming, but it doesn't look like it's anything good. Now, with that, what do you guys think? Do you think that this second suspect being added to the trial has any effect on the Dallas rap game or have any effect on any Dallas rappers getting caught up? Or do you believe this was something that was going to come anyway because we knew about Mr. Brown's name already and we knew about the DOJ indictment on him and Kewon White? So this is just another thing that's coming in the case that we expected. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.